What do I say? A few of you who saw my previous video messaged me. I'll now look forward to your comments after the India SA match. So I was like, oh yeah, I don't know what to say. Imagine such is life and such is cricket. It's fairly fickle. We were going strong before the tournament, T20 World Cup. We looked like an invincible team. We came to the tournament and we were of course not the same invincible team that looked like before, but we were managing to win. We were finding ways to win, so which is what a champion team does, that when they are not able to play at their best, they will still somehow find a way to win. But what happened after the India SA game was nothing short of decimation. So South Africa meticulously planned this. South Africa came in extremely well prepared. It seemed as if they had an answer to every problem that India would pose to them. So credit where it's due. I think it's absolutely worth applauding what South Africa did tactically, strategically. They were clearly far better than us, and something that we will have to accept the fact that they found answers, and that's what I would like to say to begin with, right? And our famed batting lineup yet again failed. Yeah, it could not deliver, especially at the top. We could not, and of course, the entire game, the way it rolled out, none of them could really put up a fight. And the score was not unachievable. 186, I think 187 is pretty much doable on an Ahmedabad pitch. But I guess Ahmedabad and India's key affairs don't get along well, it seems. We are not able to win these key games, right? But all is not lost, but we are in a very, very precarious position. I'll tell you how. Okay, first of all, let's analyze the match before we go on the way forward. Akshar Patel, I mentioned, would be in place of Washi, but somehow Gigi and the think tank thought differently. They got in Washi. Technically, not such a bad idea, but Washi has not done much, honestly. If you see, even for Gujarat Titans, he has not been regularly playing the IPL matches. So T20 and Washington Sundar does not have huge credentials. So it was a brave call and something that failed miserably. And hence, of course, the vice captain in Akshar Patel not being there amplified, and that really made them look horrible. So I think that's something that I was also personally not very convinced with. But yeah, that they had some thought process around it to get the off spinners in for their left-handers who are going to be batting around. So it was okay, but I think still Akshar would still man to man, if compared with Washi, would do much better. And yeah, that's where I felt that we did not do well in terms of starting off. However, when it came to the bowling unit, we superbly started, getting those key wickets, pushing South Africa literally back in the power play. And thereafter, I think everything else went South Africa's way. They found a way to put up a big total. They didn't let the net run rate drop at all. They were just constantly firing in. They were attacking our key bowlers, like Varun got really smashed. Shivam got smashed eventually. Hardik got smashed. So yeah, it was something that SA did pretty well, right? And something that I noticed, which is what I've been saying in the past. Of course, more to do with catching efficiency, but even the fielding bit. So if you see on a macro level, I don't know why Dilip continues to enjoy so much of popularity in that room. I'm sure he's done enough things right. But when you see the outcome, the fielding coach in Dilip is not somebody who's been able to deliver in the recent past. Yeah, he must have done great things in the era that he started off and did well with Virat and Rohit. But off late, I feel that he might be a great guy inside the dressing room, but the outcomes are not great. I'll tell you a very key issue that happened. We bowled two no balls in the game. One was Hardik Pandya, the other I can't recall. And both the no balls were then hit for sixes. So literally, we had, without bowling a ball, given away South Africa 14 runs. Now, these are little things. And like I mentioned even previously, that when you get into the Super 8s, knockouts, these are the things which count for it, eventually. Of course, we lost by 76 runs. So, not that we lost because of that, but those are the kind of things which shifts the momentum in favor of the batting team. So, that's something that I was not mighty pleased. Again, one blip by Surya. He's otherwise a very good fielder, but there was a ball passing through him. He could not stop, and it went for a boundary. So 18 such runs lost. Momentum allowed. The batsman starts feeling confident. He tends to thereafter play even better. And David Miller was the guy who was at the benefit of these kind of errors. So, and clearly he was the top scorer for them. So yeah, that's how the match ended. However, let's look at the top three things that happened in the match. Yeah, it was of course a pathetic performance, honestly, from India, but there were still key takeaways. Bumrah, 4 overs, 3 wickets, and 15 runs. This is unimaginable. I mean, how can you be at a run rate of less than four in your 4 overs and still India loses, which is a pity. But he was absolute standout performer. Dubey once again batted well. He was the only guy, in fact, in our 100 something score, was the only guy to bat and get some 30 odd runs, which was decent. So it shows that he's consistent and he's continuing to do well. Again, Arshdeep, he bowled very well in his 4 overs. He took 2 wickets and gave away only 28 runs. So if you put together the combo of our fast bowlers, Bumrah and Arshdeep. Then between them, they took 5 wickets and gave away only 43 runs, right? So in 8 overs, if we gave 43, imagine what other bowlers did. So that's where I think we lost the game. But these three performers were standout for us and key strength for us. What were the areas that we could have done better? Of course, our inability to place off spin specifically is coming to the fore. It's somehow becoming too much of a problem, and teams are coming with their part-time spinners. Aiden Markram is not a proven off spinner, unlike, let's say, a Nathan Lyon from Australia or Graham Swan from England. So these are not that pedigree, nor Ashwin from India. These are part-time off spinners, but they are able to do the job. He hardly gave a run or two, or maybe 5 runs, and he took the wicket of Ishan Kishan. Previous time it was Aryan Dutt. He was, of course, a more accomplished bowler, but basically off spin is a problem. So that's clearly an area that we need to do better. And I'm sure Gigi and the team would be focusing on this very hard before the next match comes in. Tilak and Abhishek are clearly not able to perform, and that's something that I feel that needs a relook at. Of course, not Abhishek, but Tilak, I feel something that we'll have to do. Maybe my view is that Tilak will have to sit out for Surya to break the excessive left-hander batting lineup. So sorry, not Surya, but Sanju. Sanju should come in place of Tilak. Sanju and Abhishek should open, and Ishan Kishan should be number three, which is where he does exceedingly well. And the keeping gloves should go to Sanju, and Ishan is a fantastic outfielder, so he will add value there. So that's my view, because Tilak has just not been able to get anything. So at least for one match, while he has been a past performer and a proven one, but just for this match, I guess Zimbabwe, they should dabble with this idea, is what I feel. And if it works well, continue it with West Indies as well. Another aspect is that our one style of playing to kind of keep dominate with the bat and just keep go bang bang is not working. So I think there has to be a little bit of adaptability. That's an area of weakness, clearly, that we are not as adaptable as we should be. Of course, they have shown signs. Surya in particular has tried to be very adaptable, but otherwise most people have just tried to play one way, which is bang bang and get out if you don't get runs. Washy idea didn't work, so clearly something that we should dump that idea for the rest of the tournament, I feel. And yeah, that's about it for the match. Now, most importantly, going forward, what will happen? Like I mentioned earlier, that we are in a very precarious position. And you know why? Because we lost badly. So our net run rate today is minus 3.8. So where does this leave us? It's a very, very interesting thing. We have been playing well. We just had one bad game, and suddenly we are in a position where we might get just knocked out. We might not even go to the semifinals. I'll tell you why. South Africa is, of course, the leading team in this group of ours, and we are just hoping that they will win their remaining two matches. So, if South Africa wins all three matches, of course, India, they've won already. West Indies and Zimbabwe, if they win, they get 6 points and they are table toppers. Then India will have to beat Zimbabwe, of course, and beat very well, as well as beat West Indies. If we do this, we accumulate 4 points. So then we become number two, because West Indies has won against Zimbabwe, so they already have 2 points. But we and South Africa should beat them for them to remain on 2 points. And Zimbabwe, of course, will remain at zero in that scenario. And that will be the most favorable outcome that we are looking at, because that will mean that we can safely go through along with South Africa to the semi-finals. But let's say that South Africa is unable to beat West Indies, and we are able to beat both West Indies and Zimbabwe. There are too many permutation combinations now. So in that scenario, what will happen is that India will be at 4 points, having beaten West Indies and Zimbabwe. South Africa, having beaten us and Zimbabwe, will be at 4 points as well. And West Indies, who would have then beaten South Africa and Zimbabwe, they have done already, they'll also be on 4 points. And then net run rate will come into play. So what happened to us, we lost by 76 runs and our net run rate is minus 3.8. But what happened is that West Indies beat Zimbabwe by 100 plus runs, which means their net run rate is 5 plus 5 point something. So if we are in this deadlock of 4 points, 3 each, then South Africa and West Indies will go through, because I don't think we have a realistic chance to improve our net run rate to a level that we can beat South Africa as well as West Indies on net run rate, because of how poorly we lost and because of how well that West Indies have won against Zimbabwe. So that's a major concern, and that's something that I'm sure the entire team and the whole of India will be losing sleep over, because this is going to be very tricky. So come Thursday, we will have to beat Zimbabwe by a massive margin, anything upwards of at least 70, 80, 100 runs. Or if we are betting second, then we'll have to score those runs that Zimbabwe does inside of 10 overs or something. Only without losing too many wickets, of course. Only then will our NRR improve. And then, of course, we'll have to beat the mighty West Indies. Look at the way they are playing. I don't think it's going to be a walkover that we might have assumed at the beginning of the tournament, because West Indies are today a formidable side. They've got two strong spinners. Roston Chase might come in third spinner against us. And of course, they have got decent fast bowlers. Shamar has been a wonderful find for them. They killed Australia in Australia because of Shamar Joseph. So they have a formidable side. And look at the way their batting is. They are firing all cylinders. They are posting 240. So it's not going to be easy. India does not look to be a favorite right now to go through to the semi-finals. South Africa and West Indies do. But of course, India, like the champion team they are, I really hope, I'm not very sure, but I really hope they find a way, because they will have to clearly dominate the balance two games and win it handsomely. And then let's really hope that South Africa wins all three, for things to be very simple. Otherwise, net run rate, and we don't stand a great chance. But of course, I am an ardent India fan, and I am, of course, keeping my fingers crossed that we definitely go through to the semi-finals. And yeah, until then, I'll look forward to the next match and see you after that. Bye bye.